Well, today the market started really green. At some point, the Dow Jones was booking more than 350 points, and then suddenly, Apple News came out that they are slowing hiring and they are not as bullish when it comes to the economic growth for the remainder of for the foreseeable future. So that caused some people to take some profits, to be spooked again by recession fears and everything, and we ended up having a red day all over across the board, except maybe for crypto and energy. Now, if you look at what is coming this week, I do believe that with the lack of economic indicators coming up when it has to do with inflation, we may have some kind of headwind ahead of us when it comes to finishing this week greener, with some gains based on where we started the week, or we ended the week last Friday. So let's jump into exactly what we're going to be the market movers, because knowing this will give you insights, and whenever you have insights, you have knowledge and information, and it can help you prepare more in order to see exactly where you can move your money if you want to day trade, if you want to swing trade, but also if you want to do some investing based on the market possibly recovering, or maybe if it's time for you to take some profits. All right, this is the whole bottom line around making this market covering, to see exactly where are we going, because if you don't know where you're going, you tend to get caught up off guard, and when you get caught off guard, you tend to be emotional. And remember, whenever you make a decision based on your emotions, 99% of the time that is a wrong decision. So I want you to be prepared, because preparation gets you prepared for success. All right, makes sense? Now, this week is going to be a big week when it comes to earnings. First off, we have more financial firms due to report on Monday, including Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Charles Schwab. So this morning we had, kind of a mixed earnings, when it comes to Bank of America and some of the other, just because it wasn't as perfect, but it wasn't as bad as much. But some of the insights, especially from Bank of America, are telling us that things are not as worse when it comes to the economy outlook, when it comes to where the economy might go for the next couple of months, and it helped relieve a little bit some of the recession fears. Now we're going to see how things go for the other companies reporting this week, especially the big guys. So on Tuesday we have Johnson & Johnson, Novartis, and Netflix. Netflix is going to give us an insight into how the tech sector is doing amid of the last earnings season when it comes to the first quarter of this year. And then on Tuesday we have the big dogs. We have Tesla, we have Abbott Laboratories, we have Baker Hughes for the energy companies, we have Discovery Financial Services, United Airlines, Harley Davidson. This is going to be really interesting, because some of these companies, such as Tesla, will also give us a pretty good sense around what tech companies or big tech companies are doing this quarter, or what they do, how do they foresee the economy going, especially after they decided to lay off a ton of people. Now, on Tuesday, also, we have the June housing starts and building permits that we're going to give you a clear insight into how what was the status, what is the gauge when it comes to the real estate market. Ultimately, this leads into inflation fears and recession fears. And then maybe something that may also spook market is the ECB expected to raise its benchmark interest rate for the first time since 2011. So this might be a little bit of a those things where the market will react, even though this was already due, because for the first time since 2011 they haven't done anything. The US have done, the Japanese has done, the Canadian has done, pretty much all across the world. Serious central bank are increasing interest rates, except for the European Central Bank. So look out for those. So bottom line is, I don't see a lot of things outside of earnings and outside of pretty much earnings, because besides that, we don't have really a big economic indicator coming up, especially when it comes to inflation. So we might see, depending on how these earnings, will go. Personally, I think the energy is going to crush it. Energy companies are going to crush it. The banks is going to be a little bit mixed, but the outlook coming from the banks and, the tech sector, Netflix, Tesla, and then from the airlines is going to give us a clear indication on how inflation is being perceived. If, inflation is getting close to peaked, as we're seeing prices of commodities going down, and ultimately, I believe the market's going to react positively because they're going to see that, hey, look, these earnings are not as bad because some of these companies already gave some heads up like, hey, guys, 1 month, 2, 3 months ago, we told you that, the outlook wasn't good and we were not supposed to make as much money, this quarter based on inflation, and margins being pinched. So I think these earnings are not going to be as bad as the market expected to be, at least for this quarter. And based on that, we'll see definitely, some green days coming ahead of us. But, I may be wrong because this environment, everything can be true, and 5 minutes later, definitely untrue. So be careful there with your trades, but definitely as investing goes, I'm still sticking with my, DCA in my long-term portfolio, but in my short-term brokerage account when it comes to swing trading and everything, I'm still sticking with crypto, the miners, crypto miners, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Through the Trust, OBTC, and ETH. Definitely green there, almost 36% on ETH. So far in the last, I'd say, 2 weeks, and the energy plays, because I do believe earnings are going to be a blow up, and money is going to flow back into those stocks, which has been decimated for the last 10 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. So these are things that are, this is my opinion, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and we'll see on Friday how things go.